got a quick course review for you guys today. Gypsy Jazz Transfusion Club. Hesitation there because I just call it the Gypsy Jazz Club, but I did notice the full web address is the Gypsy Jazz Transfusion Club. This is by, pretty sure, Nolan. He's the main face of everything going on, so I think it's his company. I may be wrong, but you can look Nolan up, and I'll put a link down there. And a lot of this course is free content. It's delivered through his YouTube. And it's a refreshing deal where the free content's worthwhile on its own. The course they're pushing is worth it, so the funnel makes sense. There's nothing scammy. There's no feeling of, should I be listening to this person? Which is what you would get if I put a course out, right? Or some of the other things I've reviewed. A certain WAP Juice Man, for example. But this product, it weighs in at, I think, $320 a year. For me, that's not expensive. It's well worth it. So what you get is there's a website or an app, and that's kind of unique in this space. Typically, you'll see something like TrueFire has an app. They're huge. Most of the other courses are going to be delivered via a website. This is not a deal breaker for me, and the app just kind of pulls the back end of the main course. So I thought it was nice to have a mobile app. Definitely not my favorite feature. The masterclasses and the Zoom community, you get, now every week something happens. It's typically a Zoom on a Monday, about an hour maybe, where they teach something, and then there's an open question answer, and then I do believe there's an open jam room, so anybody can get in a Zoom with some friends and talk or just jam. This is a big jam, play together genre, right? That's one thing I like about Robin is he will, first of all, you get a one-on-one with him when you join, which is nice because you can talk about your goals and you can tailor things for you, and he will tell you based on what you talk about where to start. And I did notice and at the end I'm going to actually hop on the PC here, which is actually a Mac, and we'll look at it real briefly. In full disclosure, I don't get anything out of this. Too small. I think it's good content to review a course. I think it's more honest if I have to buy it. So I did pay for this full price. I'm getting nothing. But, like I said, you get a personalized one-on-one, and then every week new content gets dropped. And you can catch it live. I've caught them before. They're worth doing. But the PDF workbooks, which I've got a bunch printed out, I wanted to show. This is probably half of the auto book alone that I've printed off. Anything from the Duke and Duke. These are songs. Bossa Dorado, the song. Most of these dark guys, most of this stuff is a song, and it's laid out. You know, with Gypsy Jazz, you're building a repertoire of songs you can play. And I think that's with most jazz, with standards and all that, is you're building up what you know and what you can play. So that's what I meant by picking a genre that complemented, because with the rock and metal stuff I'm doing, that's more of me creating. This is more about improvising over and playing standards. So it's getting my chord vocabulary up, and you know, I can play some of the songs, and solo just a little bit over some of them. It's got cool dissonance. It's like the Hungarian death metal stuff right at home here, you know. I feel like for me, Revocation's I love the riffs Dave and the guys write, and it sounds to me like some of the dissonance you find in Revocation and other metal, death metal and whatnot, in here. So the diminished stuff, the minor 7 flat 5s are everywhere, really dissonant intervals. It's really a fun swinging music too. So kind of like, I'm going to do a video on the guitars. It has a special acoustic that, I want to say the wrong thing, but it's not the same wood thickness as an acoustic that we would play normally. It gives a different sound, and that sound really makes melancholy and dissonant intervals sound better to me. It's just something it does. It's a cool thing. So anyway, like I said, the meat is the masterclasses, but there's also a forum, it's the campfire, there's a lot of community here. This is a huge community place, which is one of my favorite parts. And you get the masterclasses with the workbooks, and the workbooks typically are like, here's the chords and song structure, get that down, here's some soloing ideas. You might get lucky and get like some advanced chords that really good players use, so you can start basic rhythm, get your la pop, which is that swinging rhythm going, and when you get better, start getting some really expensive chords thrown in there, which you'll find useful in any genre that you want to play. It's very complementary. As a matter of fact, I think it's Sinister Gates, which Avenged Sevenfold's also into this. Like a lot of people, like Dave Davidson or Revocation's into bebop jazz and other stuff. So I do think it's wise for us to have something to offset our main thing. So for me, it's like rock, metal, you know, making your own stuff up, and then some kind of jazz. And I picked this because I just liked it. Just liked how it sounded. You know, I like bebop too. But this really floated my boat just a couple inches higher. So, a lot of content, masterclasses, community. There's an app you can use. There's the one-on-one hand-holding you can get. And then there's some tidbits that you can get. Like just, here's some cool chords. There's little mini lessons. Little Beato bites, you might call it. Just small lessons. So, you know, like for me, it would probably take years to get through the content. I can't recommend the course enough. Of course. Saying course too many times. It's like J-Rock and Numb Sayings. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're not interested in gypsy jazz, I can't recommend the course because it's just too genre specific. There's stuff you can learn, you can apply elsewhere, but I don't think it's worth the coin to drop just on this. You know, for that I'd recommend something like Kiko Loureiro's Guitar Academy, or checking out Artist Works or True Fire. You know, depends on what you want to do, right? And that's why I appreciate Robin Nolan's one-on-one, because you get to link up and talk about your goals and how to get there. And when you're thinking about taking a course, you want to think about that. It's not like, is it a bad course exactly? It's also, does this match me and my goals and where I'm at? So they have a new beginner path, and then there's a rhythm path. And these paths didn't exist when I joined a year ago, so they're adding more and making it better. They're bringing more and more people in to guest teach with Robin. They have camps. They're mostly overseas. I believe they're based out of Denmark, but very active. So we'll hop on here and have a look. All right, so here we are in the club. You can see you got some Beato up here. Quick Lessons Pro, I'll be talking about that. But over here in the Gypsy Jazz Club, like I said, these are the notifications. Each one of these is about one of Robin's lives. And the basics are, you know, we have different sections. So you have the campfire, which is, if I remember right, this is the forum. The big forum. Live with Robins are your weekly things. And they go to the vault here. You can look in the song vault. You can see there's master classes on all these tunes. I mean, there's a lot of these. And each having a lot of videos, live performances, PDFs, anything you want to learn the song. I'm using OBS, and I'm getting little artifacts on recording, and I don't think it's showing up, but you can see, like with Dark Eyes, you can get all of this stuff. And moving on, and that's, you know, all the songs. There's Robin's bits, which are just, some of these go on YouTube for free, but this is a lot of stuff you're going to want to learn that are real quick, you know, like different arpeggios, chords, reharmonized chords for a bossa dorado, anything you could ever want. And anytime there's an open Zoom and open mic session, so this is every Sunday, but I'm pretty sure this Zoom room's open all the time. So you can just get in there, hang out with people. I haven't done a lot of that because I'm not fully ready to really get into this. Like I said, there's an app for Android or Apple. Plenty. This one I haven't even seen what the pathways is. Okay, so it looks like we're getting. So this is new. This wasn't here last time I logged in, which was just not long ago. So yeah, this wasn't here. This is good. This is what. As a matter of fact, I may not cancel this thing now, or I'm not canceling. I'm just not letting it renew because I'd like to look at these pathways. So I may keep it. But again, this is just one of the best courses. It's just, again, it's this niche down in the Gypsy Jazz. But there's plenty to learn that you can apply, to anything. You're going to learn a lot of chords, melodies, anything. But I do recommend that you're interested in the genre for this one. I think if you don't like Gypsy Jazz, then it's going to be hard to only extract out what you want out of it without getting fully into the genre. So, I can say that for electric guitar with a focus on metal, shreddy stuff, but also fusiony, progressive stuff, then Kiko's Guitar Academy is where to go. And then if you're doing R&B or other stuff like that, I can recommend, Tomo, which we'll do his Guitar Wisdom course. I'll do a review on. Or, I make fun of Rhett here and there just because of the name, and he's got a real Rhett look to him. Kind of like, I kind of look like. He looks better than me. I'm not crapping on his looks. I don't want to give that idea. It's just he looks like a Rhett. I look like a dick. My name's Richard. Here we go. But his course is good. I have it. His fretboard mastery course is I'm going to review. It's very good. Some of the stuff at Brett Papa's place is good. Guthrie Trapp's stuff's very good. There's a lot of good out there that we're going to go over. And if you're in Gypsy Jazz, this is the best that I've found. There's a lot of stuff you can do. You can drop in the comments if you have questions on other things. I'm willing to go grab a course if anybody wants something looked at, as long as it's not too crazy. So, again, it's a lot of it I can't show you because it's inside of where I went, where you get these sessions with other players. This is a 6-week course with Paul Dillon. You can see that, this is an hour, session 5, and there's going to be a lot there's a lot of stuff going on. It would take you forever to get through all this content. So this is every bit of Gypsy Jazz that you can study, go here. You can augment it with something like DC Music School. There's other people. True Fire has some people. I will say Robin Nolan wrote a book. I should review it. It really is just an intro for this, but it's Gypsy Jazz book. It's that company Levi Clay always gets published under. Fundamental Changes, I think. There's other players in this space that are good too. I showed you the Van Hemert system book. Christian Van Hemert has a lot of information online, and there's a couple other people. I forget the True Fire person's name, but he's worth looking at. And of course, at DC Music School, you can get the Rosenbergs and stuff. So, but I do recommend starting with this.